Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member DeGette, for holding this important hearing and to our panel for testifying. This is a great opportunity to examine the bipartisan cost-saving reforms that passed through this committee and the House of Representatives in the last Congress. While these reforms ultimately were not signed into law, we were successful in building the necessary momentum for these positive changes to occur. We can see the impact of our efforts through actions that some pharmacy benefit managers have taken to institute additional reporting to their patients and to their plan sponsors. Now, in the 119th Congress, we have an obligation to return to our work of lowering prescription drug costs and improving access to affordable medications for our constituents, particularly for Medicare and Medicaid beneficiaries. PBMs were created to negotiate drug prices down on behalf of plan sponsors. Despite this, we have continued to see an increase in what plans and patients are paying for prescription medications. We need to create an environment that increases competition, one of the most consistent drivers of lower costs. Because of the complex nature and opaque component of these operations, it's difficult for plan sponsors to effectively engage in truly competitive processes for choosing their pharmacy benefit manager. Mr. Greminger, can you speak on how the transparency requirements that passed through this committee last Congress can help drive competition through an increased ability for employers to compare options and negotiate effectively?
Certainly. So, as you identify, Congressman, the bill under your consideration provides really end-to-end transparency in a way that we've never seen before in the PBM market. It allows plan sponsors to understand what the initial price of the drug was from the original sale by the group purchasing organization, all of the discounts and fees that might have been assessed on that drug, and then finally get to sort of what the net cost was to the plan sponsor. Right now, almost none of that information is available to us. As I mentioned in my opening statement, plan sponsors are fiduciaries over their plan assets. We actually can be sued. In fact, 2 large organizations have so far been sued, allegedly because they weren't overseeing their PBM contracts effectively. We were paying too much for drugs. Right now, we don't have the ability, in many cases, to really understand what we're paying for any particular drug, whether we're overpaying because there's a weird formulary placement where you're having a higher priced drug at the bottom of a formulary, lower priced drug at the higher end of a formulary, et cetera. This bill would correct all of that and provide us with the transparency we need. We would still be fiduciarily liable, but there's no way you're gonna see a prudent fiduciary choose to say, yeah, I'm gonna have a $5,000 drug at the base of a formulary and go through prior authorization to get to a $500 drug. That won't happen because plan sponsors will have the transparency need and, frankly, the fiduciary requirement that they are placing the drugs appropriately and negotiating for the best prices.
The United States is home to world-leading medical innovation. In fact, many on this committee have heard me say that innovation is truly the cornerstone of American medicine. There is a need to find creative solutions for coverage and payment of these innovative medications to make them accessible at an affordable price. Mr. Greminger, how does value-based purchasing play a role in getting these advanced medications into the hands of the patients who desperately need them?
Yeah, so value-based purchasing can mean a lot of things, of course, but one of the things that's exciting about it is it's the notion that instead of paying for a drug based on sort of whatever the list price is, whatever rebates you might have been able to negotiate, it's based on sort of unique clinical value above what else is available in the market right now. I think that's definitely the direction we need to head, and we're starting to see more innovation to be able to see there are absolutely some very high-priced drugs that are also transformative. They're life-saving. They have the ability to prolong people's lives and give them back their lives. There are a lot of low-value drugs out there that are equally expensive and don't have that same kind of change. Under a value-based purchasing arrangement, the employer, purchaser, plan sponsor is paying based on unique value above replacement effectively, which is, I think, the direction that we need to go. It would allow for pharmaceutical companies to make quite a bit of money on drugs that are truly innovative and not make much money on drugs that aren't innovative at all.
Again, Mr. Chairman, thank you for holding this hearing today, and I thank the witnesses for taking time out of their schedules to be with us, and I yield.